like, I don't know, let's just do some crazy shit. Well, I'll tell you a whole story. What about that? So, y'all want to hear a story about, how about a story about the first time my band ever toured? We've played over 3,000 shows. Drive-By Truckers. I mean, I've had multiple bands, but Drive-By Truckers is like the band that played over 100 shows. They played about 3,000 shows. So, that's a lot of fucking shows. I'm not sure the Rolling Stones have played 3,000 shows. I mean, I'm serious. Count it up. I'm not sure they have. The Ramones didn't hit 3,000. They came close. They were in the upper 2,000s. And most of my favorite bands, they didn't play. Bruce Springsteen, I don't think he's played 3,000 shows. I think he's around 2,800. He needs to get to work. Get to work, boss. But it's all got to start somewhere. And our first tour was a fucking disaster. and I spent the majority of it kind of in like mentally in a fetal position going, what have I done? All that cocky shit I said when I was a kid about nothing to fall back on, and oh shit, I've got nothing to fall back on, and this sucks. So we're going to tell that story. It's a funny story, so I ain't getting heavy yet. So we're going to take it back to 1997. The Drive-By Truckers was about a year and a half old, and all we'd ever put out at that point was a 45 with bulldozers and dirt and 9 beds. Some of y'all probably have a copy. You can sell it on eBay for a bunch of money because they're kind of rare. It's great. I won't make any of that money. And we had some good friends in Athens, Georgia, where we were based, the Starring Boys. They were a fantastic band. They were a country and western band, like old school traditional country. And Dave Marr, the singer, had this perfect country baritone voice. He could break your heart. And he was from Chicago, and he looked more like a glam rocker than a country singer, so it was awesome. We called him the country vampire behind his back. He didn't look like that at the time. And he booked this tour for his band to play, and because they had a new record finished about to come out, and they wanted to go out on the road. And he booked all these dates. It was like in December of '97. And it started in Columbus, Ohio, and then went to Chicago and Lansing, Michigan, and Buffalo, New York, Boston. And their drummer couldn't do it, and we shared the same pedal steel player, and we were down to get on the road, and he knew that, so he came up to me and he asked if we'd like to join forces and make the tour happen. And they would use our drummer, and we'd share the pedal steel player. And they had just bought a brand new, used 15-passenger van. And it said First United Baptist Church on the side. Which Dave Marr assured me meant they would never get pulled over. So the plan was we'd fit as much gear as we could and as many people as we could into that First United Baptist Church van, and the rest of us would go in whatever car we had that might be roadworthy for such a long journey. And at that time, the Truckers had a van. It was a 1978 Plymouth Voyager. We were about the 5th band to own it. And somewhere around the 3rd band, it got the nickname the Huffer. And I've done a lot of stupid fucking shit in my life, but I've never been dumb enough to take on a 1,000+ mile journey in something called the Huffer. So the best we could come up with that could make the trip was Cooley's wife's Monster Protege. Y'all remember those? It's like a go-kart with an extra couple of square inches. And Cooley's, they were living in Durham, North Carolina at that time, and me and Adam Howell, our bass player, rode up in my CRX to Durham to hook up with Cooley and the Monster Protege for the tour. Now to give y'all a little bit of background, Adam Howell, our bass player, he played upright bass. He looked just like Jesus. If you know, what they taught you in Sunday school in the 70s, Jesus looked like, except he was really tall and probably listened to a lot of Grateful Dead. So, really tall 70s Jesus listening to Grateful Dead. He was 6'10", Adam Howell. He played the upright bass. He sang like a fucking angel. He had the most beautiful voice. So he and I go up there and we get in Cooley's Monster Protege, and Cooley had done the math and he figured out that Durham, North Carolina to Columbus, Ohio, about 4.5 hours. It's the last time Cooley ever did that. So about 5 hours into the journey, we're somewhere in West Virginia on some mountain road, and it starts pouring down rain, and I'm talking fucking biblical proportions, downpour, pouring on that poor little Monster Protege, and we're in the right lane, and that little go-kart engine's going. Seems like a chihuahua really pissed off, and it's driving, and then 18-wheelers would pass us on the right lane, and in the left lane, and every time one would pass us, we'd hydroplane just enough to where me in the back seat, my butthole would just be like that. And Adam's sitting in the passenger seat, and his knees are up between his face, and he's miserable, and Cooley's driving, and he's probably about half drunk, and he's like kind of pissed off because he had been wrong about the length of time it took to get to Columbus, Ohio. And that's about the time I wrote the first verse. 90 miles an hour in West Virginia rain. They're waiting in Columbus and they're later than you think. Cooley's at the wheel, Adam's at the brake, and I'm jammed in the backseat with my head between my knees. Jammed in the backseat with my head between my knees. Jammed in the backseat with my head between my knees. Got the shits, jitters, bad coffee, cigarettes, and you couldn't drive a nail up my ass with a sledgehammer. White Knuckle, West Virginia. Mountain roads and rain. Hauling ass and wonder, will I ever see my darling again? So we get to Columbus, Ohio, just in the nick of time to load directly onto the stage and play our 45-minute set for the 13 people that paid their cover to get in. We finish our set and we go backstage, and there's our hosts for the evening. They were the Lily Bandits, great band. And one of them was going to be putting us up for the night at his house. He was married and had kids, so therefore he had a nice house. And we walked backstage, and they're all laid out on couches and all over the backstage and on floors, huddled in fetal positions, puking into anything they could find, because one of them's kids had brought home a kindergarten disease. Of course, it was the kids that we were staying with that night. We woke up the next morning, we drove to Chicago, we got there, we played at the Empty Bottle. First time we ever got to play Chicago. I was so fucking excited. We had a pretty good show. And we woke up the next morning to drive to Lansing, Michigan. And that's when the kindergarten disease started winding its way through that First United Baptist Church, man. It's also the day that we drove to Lansing, Michigan, and it started snowing. And I remember having this conversation with Dave Marr, who grew up in Chicago, about this impending tour. And I said, Dave, are you sure it's a good idea? to go tour Chicago and the Great Lakes and Buffalo, New York in December. He said, Patterson, you Southerners, you're all right. You think it's like some kind of blizzard scene from Fargo the whole time. But it doesn't really do that till at least January or February. So we're driving down the interstate on our way to Lansing, Michigan, and the Great Lake right next to us is all freezing over, and wind's picking up ice from that Great Lake and it's dropping it right in front of our Mazda Protege. And we're slipping, sliding, and slipping, and sliding, and it's terrifying. I grew up in Alabama. I'd never seen that shit. We get to Lansing, Michigan, and there's 10 feet of snow on the ground. Holy fucking shit! No one's gonna come out. What the fuck? We're gonna lose all kinds of money. What are we gonna do? Everybody in town came out. What the fuck else are they gonna do? It's Lansing, Michigan. We had a sold out show. It was awesome. I sold a bunch of 45s and bumper stickers. I was so happy. The next day I woke up with a kindergarten disease. And that's the day that we drove from Lansing, Michigan to Buffalo, New York. Now as the crow flies, that's not too bad a trip. But the crow ain't holding weed, therefore it don't matter that the crow is flying over Canada. But the drive-by truckers, we always hold weed. We ain't driving through Canada. Fuck that shit. That's around the time that it became a full-on motherfucking blizzard, and I really the hell never seen anything like that. We're driving north from Cleveland, and they start closing down the interstate, and I'm thinking, they're closing down the interstate on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. What the fuck does that mean for someone from Alabama? And I'm back in the back seat of that Mazda Protege, and I'm puking into a bag, and I wrote this next verse. 20 miles an hour in a Pennsylvania blizzard. It don't take a wizard to figure this out. North in the summer, south in the winter, Buffalo to summer. What kind of dumbass shit is that? On my plate, now my stomach's turned to acid and the smell